It's your favorite cousin Deonna Hustle of Hustle and Shine in the Morning, only on Kansas City's #1 for hip-hop, R&B, and throwbacks, Hot 103 Jams. And you know my roots are from St. Louis. And I'm on 3 Lawyers eating sandwiches.
We talking?
Yep.
Okay, season 2, episode 7 through 11, something like that.
Yeah, like episode like 10. But
Somewhere
this
in
is these are special episodes. I
Yes.
people notice the studio looks very different.
That's right.
Why?
Well, we had to do something special.
Are you going to make that
When you
sound?
have, I was going to say St. Louis and Kansas City, but we have Missouri royalty here
I
in
like
the building
that.
with us.
What
Hey.
building? Where are we?
Where
have
are
I
we?
woken up in another universe?
You have.
We are. We're actually, this
in
is
the
a guest
Kansas-
studio. We're in the Kansas City area at the Java Garage, which I absolutely love this place. I have not
It's
been
awesome.
here before. It's a
Yes,
coffee
this
shop.
is our Kansas City home when we podcast.
It is from now on. I may just come out here and do it out here all the time.
Yes.
I just think this building is beautiful.
Yeah, I love it. Big fan.
Talk about our guest.
Shea Perry, a.k.a. Deonna Hustle.
Woo.
Depends on what side of the state you're on.
That's true.
That's right. You're going to
Dual
have to take us through the whole
personalities?
story of
Yes.
that.
Well,
What do you do? What do you?
thank you, guys.
Orf around
I
Columbia.
do so I feel like I do a lot of different things. But first of all, thank you guys for even inviting me.
Oh,
thanks for coming.
It's
I
our
honestly
pleasure.
grew up on Brown and Crouppen. Like, I just want to throw that out there. Like, I grew up on seeing the commercials all the time and seeing the face. So when I got that DM, I said, let's do it.
Awesome. Thank you.
So I'm excited to eat the sandwiches with you
Now-
guys as well.
Is there a difference in the personalities? Is Shea different than Deonna?
Yeah. So there's a couple of different tiers because I get a chance to know where you met me at based on what name you know me by.
Ah, yeah, that makes
so,
sense. I
like, if
have
you-
something similar, but I'll tell you.
Me
So
too.
you know me by my real legal government name, which isn't Shae. Then I'm like, oh, you know me from like high school, Luther North, West Florissant, Lucas and Hunt. You know me from that.
Yeah.
If you know me as Shae, you normally kind of know me around that high school period, but going to college. And then from there in college, I started my brand titled Shea from the Lou. Because I wanted people to know that I was from St. Louis. I always carried that pride. And people don't talk about it. But when you leave your hometown, that's when you really get a
Yes.
sense of pride.
That's
Because you
exactly
see
right.
how different
Yeah.
everyone else is. And you're like, my city is this and that. And all of those types
It's
of
like
things.
everything else, right? If you're mocking yourself, it's fine. The second an outsider
Yep.
wants to mock you, whatever it is they're mocking, then you become like the chief defender.
Literally the chief defender.
That's it.
See how that-
Shea from the Loop,
Yep.
chief defender.
And so from that point, I went to UMKC, studied. Did a lot of different things there. One of my biggest things was just trying stuff because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I wanted to play basketball, actually. That's what I did at Luther North. But I wasn't at the level that I really wanted to be to like excel.
Yeah.
I think I got like one scholarship at a school in St. Louis, and I'm like, I ain't going there. And so I went to
One more
Kansas
than I
City.
got.
Oh, lies. I'm sure
What
there are more.
school?
Luther North. Oh,
No, I mean-
UMKC.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So it's in the university system. So
And you did or did not play basketball there?
I did not.
Okay.
No, I did not. I actually went for communications, but I
Okay.
just didn't have an idea of what I wanted to do. I'm just like, I guess I'll try this out. But what really sold me on Kansas City was a couple of different things. There was a lot of moments of serendipity, I'd say. There was an orientation leader who happened to be from St. Louis, same high school, Luther North, and played basketball under the same coach that I did too, Coach Mack. So I felt like I was at home when she was showing me the campus. And then one other moment, and you're gonna be like, you're lying. My mom had a dream before we went to Kansas City to tour the school, and she was like, we were like best friends. She's like, girl, I had some weird dream about robots in the library. I don't know, it was just weird. I was like, okay, whatever. We get to the campus. The orientation leader is like, hey, by the way, we forgot to share with you guys that we just installed robots into the library to go get the books. So me and my mom, of course, looked at each other and were like,
Meant to be.
When the universe
be, right?
speaks, it speaks loudly.
and so at that moment, we just were like, this is feeling like it should, this is what I should be. This is where I should be, shall I say. And then from there, 2 other moments happened, and you guys are still probably going to think I'm making these things up. But the other moment was as a actual student, when I was actually signing up for classes, there was my advisor who was like, hey, these are some courses. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I'm like, communications, I talk a lot, let's do it. And she was like, here's a radio class, but I wouldn't recommend you sign up for it because the professor never accepts underclassmen. It's a mature class. You need to be prepared for it. She was like, don't do it. Don't sign up for it. It's a waste. I'm like, no, I'm signing up for it. And to this day, that professor is still a long-term friend and a mentor to me. She accepted me, of course, into that course. And that was a radio communications class, which started me on the path to where I am now on Hot 103 Jams. And the last moment was as a student, my first day on campus, I had a guy, CJ, love him. He came up to me. He was like, "Hey, I have not a morning show." He was like, "I have a show on the student radio station." I didn't know they had a radio station. He said, "Come this Friday. I'll save you a seat." Random. He didn't know me. He just was bubbly and had high energy.
Nice.
And I went to the show, and honestly, that all those things just kind of led me down a path of figuring out what I wanted to do. And if I could talk, have fun, help other people with their platform, spread awareness, and make some money, I was like,
Nice
"Right,
combination.
it's a good combination."
And tell me about the station, because this is not just a regular station,
No.
right? This is.
Should we get our first sandwiches?
Yeah,
out
let's-
what we're doing.
we can
And
have
we
some
should
Shae.
mention
Yeah, the place.
Absolutely.
I'm so excited about the place we're featuring today because I
Yes.
wanted to do this place from the beginning. We're doing Bay Boy.
You
Bay
want to
Boy
say the
sandwiches.
margin,
Bay
unless
Boys.
You need 'em. Yeah, keep it going.
From what I understand, because I did them years ago on an episode of Taste and See Kansas City, and this is what they're known for is their bread, this Dutch crisp bread.
It looks good.
That nobody offers outside of the Bay Area. They brought it from the Bay Area to Kansas City, and now folks here in Kansas City are in for a treat. If you have not been there,
Give me a plate.
you've never had bread like
Don't you
this,
worry.
and it makes the sandwiches amazing.
Yeah.
So I know we're going to have at least 3 of them today.
So let's start. Do you have one that says Gob? I don't
Yeah,
know
that
what
would be the
means.
Gobbler.
Oh, the Gobbler.
Yeah, and I'll
Make
read
sure we're
what's
all
on
on the
there,
same
and you can
page.
get us cut up. But the Gobbler, it says that this was the 2021 best sandwich in Kansas City.
Oh, wow. So we're starting in the right place.
The house Chipotle mayo, boar's head mesquite smoked turkey, Swiss cheese, red bell peppers roasted under the flames of success, and crispity lettuce to entice a little gobble.
So your station is, am I correct, the oldest black-owned radio station in the country?
In the country, yes. Yes.
And has it always been? I don't know if it's been the same format. It couldn't be because music and the world has
It
changed.
typically
But
has been the same format, hip hop and R&B. Maybe the wording might have changed in the
Yeah.
last 75 years, just because of the time periods. But we're actually celebrating 75 years this year.
and
of
it's
being-
independent still.
Yes. Black family owned, Carter family. They're still working there. The family is still a great
Wow.
part of the admin and the team. So yeah, it's still locally owned.
Which means it's not like one of these Jack FM or like you have real DJs. You decide the music.
No.
The DJs don't. But
No.
there's a program director.
Yeah. So we have a PD.
Okay.
And that bread does look good.
Yeah,
I'm looking at yours right there, and
Man,
the way that it's crisping on top like that, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Now we understand that you requested some special modifications of your sandwiches.
I'm picky.
I'm curious.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Okay, so I always tell people this lifestyle chose me. I didn't choose it. Where it's just a lot of things that I don't like. Lettuce and tomatoes. I might be childish still, but I'm not a fan. I don't eat seafood either. Like I said, I'm just super picky.
No shrimp.
None.
No.
And I know Shirley, she eats nothing but seafood, and so she's shaking her head at me right now.
How bad is your, like, would you take a bite of a shrimp or would you take a bite of a tomato?
Can't do it.
What if it was like
A
somebody
tomato,
said, I'll give you
maybe.
$100 to take a bite of a shrimp?
Or is that your way of offering me $100?
No, I just like.
First of
there
all,
are
it's
some
his way of
people who have
demonstrating
these-
how cheap he is.
There are some people who would, you could offer them $1 million and they would not take a bite
Okay,
of a
well
tomato.
now if we talk a million,
that's
I'm
right.
not allergic to it. I just don't. I can't
Not
get
your
it.
preference.
It's just not
You know what it is
preference.
too? Is what I like about your approach is you're hitting adulthood and you're realizing that as an adult you get to actually make those choices. When you're a kid, adults make those choices for you. So it's really a way to assert your own independence
Yes.
and freedom. I'm
Now,
a
have
big
you-
fan of
I like
modification.
that.
Have you tried any of those things? Because they say you got to eat them
You gotta try it.
a million times and your taste buds change every 18 hours or
And
something stupid.
they do
Bring the
say every
napkins, please.
7 years your taste buds change,
Yeah.
and I'm still waiting on that to change.
That's right.
So
That 7-year itch is
yeah,
coming.
I'm here at 28, still wondering when that is.
I have never developed, I've never developed the taste bud for bitter. So any like black coffee, dark chocolate, wine, alcohol, I can't have any of that.
You like
It all
sour?
tastes like poison.
I hate
I like
those sour candies.
No, see, now the sour candies I do okay with,
don't
and I
like
don't
them.
mind
They can't be
lime
too
or
sour.
lemon. But yeah.
Sweet.
So you were going to tell us though your personality is a little different. So when you became Deonna Hustle, how is that different? How are you showing up differently?
Well, I would say more so.
Napkin.
A lot of those were also I was a different age for each of those, so I feel like each step further is just me being older and more mature. and just kind of also being more experienced. Thank you. And so with me being Deonna Hustle, I had to, of course, me being known as Shea from the Lou back in college, everybody knew that name. So once I had to change my name, people were like, wait, you got to change your name? And so my first day or second day of training, my boss came to me. He was like, all right, we got to figure out a name for you. Now, during the interview process, he did tell me, he was like, you have to change your name and come up with something. And I didn't think he was serious. I'm like, I'm going to just wait to get the job first, and then we'll get there. And so he was like, I'm serious. I got on air twice as Shea from the Lou, like really quickly, and got away with it. And he was like, all right, we got to figure something out.
Yeah, you can't do that in Kansas City.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine in St. Louis if you're coming on as Shea from KC.
Yeah. And then that was that's what his reasoning was, is, okay, let's make it make sense. And I'm like, I get that. And so it was tough for, I'd say, a couple weeks. My grandmother and my mom, that's really a big chunk of my support system. I talk to them 50 times a day. And I was like, let's figure something out. Now, my nanny gave me some ideas that I was like, all right, nanny, you're showing your age a little bit.
Let me ask you a question. Are they two separate persons?
Not really.
Is it just a name?
It's just the name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's not like I'm putting on a...
So if I
anything,
if I listen to your radio, I would not, other than the name, I would notice no difference.
No, it was just, I was Shea from the Lou in college. So my voice wasn't, I really didn't have my radio voice fully at that point.
But I'm sure, have you known people who have like sort of an alter ego that they've named?
Like Beyonce has Sasha Fierce,
right?
You know, things of
Stuff
that nature.
like that.
So it's not necessarily like, oh, I'm a completely different person.
What was Latka's alter ego?
Vic Ferrari. Or how about Mayo?
I like the Ferrari.
The Godfather of Law. We got that. Yeah.
But I don't know that the Godfather acts any different. Vic Ferrari certainly did. There was a show, you're way too young, a show called Taxi.
I know.
Okay.
I've heard about that show.
And Andy Kaufman played a character named Latka, and he had this alter ego, Vic Ferrari, who was
Totally different personality.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It was funny.
So I'm not like Jekyll and
A
Hyde.
quick word about the sandwiches. You guys are now taking your first bite.
Oh, really good.
Delicious, and I like it. It's a full sandwich, but it's neat. I like a sandwich that stays on, lets you eat it without making a mess.
So you hate sloppy joes?
Except I love sloppy joes.
Okay.
I don't like the word
Make an
sloppy.
exception.
Although,
Yeah.
Well, because I eat my sloppy joes clean.
Me too.
Yeah.
so why is Sloppy Joe, with almost no exception, you will never see it on a restaurant menu, and I don't understand
That's
why.
a good point. I now that I'm thinking about it, I don't
It
see
really
that.
bothers me.
Why not?
I know, 'cause I love them.
Yeah.
I know. Adriana's has a sloppy Giuseppe.
So I'll
Only
give
a
that to
special.
them.
Once in a blue moon. But yeah, I don't know why it's not a regular sandwich everywhere.
I never thought about that.
Especially like on kids' menus, it's easy to make. You just have a big pot of it in a bun.
How do we get a petition or something?
I don't know. We'll figure something out.
Loose meat sandwich.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it
but
doesn't have
that's
the
not a
tomato.
sloppy Joe.
That's not a sloppy.
That's shoot,
I've never
what
even
is
heard that before.
loose meat?
Yeah,
It's like
Roseanne Barr had a loose meat sandwich place for a
Well,
while.
my wife Steph is from Iowa, and they have Made Right is a chain of loose meat. It's just like it's like
shaved meat.
no, it's like ground beef that is like when you make ground beef and it's like for tacos, you know, and except
Isn't that a sloppy
except-
Joe?
No.
well, no, so
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
no. It
You have
is,
to season
but
it,
like
sauce it.
that's like saying, isn't a box of pasta bolognese? No, because the sauce isn't there.
Right.
It's just so it's just
You have one ingredient
So
in
the-
a sloppy Joe.
So the loose
Gotcha.
meat is not in a sauce.
no. The loose meat is
what
just
is-
like literally ground
And
beef.
even if it were in
Is that-
a sauce,
Yeah,
it
that's
has to be in
steamed.
sloppy
Oh.
Joe.
But it's think of it as
Yeah, that does make a difference.
they serve it like instead of a plain
Put it in
hamburger
an
patty.
Alfredo,
Yeah.
Sloppy Joe.
Instead of a plain hamburger patty, it's just loose meat, ground beef that's sort of
Without the sauce.
that's right, ground
Without
up.
the sauce,
And
yeah.
now then you add ketchup and just like you would dress up a hamburger.
Yeah.
Same thing.
So do you guys
Whoa.
have any restrictions on things that you eat? Other, it's just me.
No,
Well,
I'm,
I'm not eating
I'm
anything.
very restricted. I'm much more like you are.
Oh, okay.
I don't eat eggs.
Same.
I don't eat most seafood.
Texture.
Yeah.
I can do eggs if they're like
In
rice.
something else.
If I'm getting some rice from St. Louis, I can do like
Right,
a little
yeah,
bit
sure.
of egg, but nothing too. If the egg ratio to whatever,
Like rice,
I'm
like
getting-
fried
No,
rice?
if it takes
Yeah.
on the
Okay.
spongy egg quality,
Yeah,
you don't want it.
yeah,
Same here.
I
Well,
can't
that's
do
why
it.
the
Yeah.
seafood. The seafood to me is that same.
I can't do
spongy quality.
texture
Human
with
flesh.
seafood.
That I can eat.
Not today.
No, I mean,
I don't swallow
You
it,
asked
but
what I
I'll
would
work
eat.
it over.
no, I
Oh,
would-
you're saying you would not eat it.
okay.
That's
I
good.
would
That's
not
good.
You
eat
wouldn't?
that for-
But
no,
you work it over.
you said
Yeah.
restrictions that
Yeah.
we have.
So that's it.
Am I
Everything
wrong?
else is
And not
game.
Even
for
you know.
$1 million.
Yeah, not for $1 million.
No,
You're
not for $1 million. I
yeah,
agree.
Not at all.
Let's move on to CBR.
Oh, now CBR is
Now, what's
the
that?
chicken bacon ranch.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I like that. That sounds
Yeah,
good.
that's got, and this says, holy smokes, my guy.
Okay.
Here it is. Exactly what you want. Boar's Head Fire Smith chicken, our house cut thick AF hickory smoked bacon,
Nice.
ranch, house style, OFC. I know that it stands for something. I don't remember.
Does AF mean what I think
Yeah.
it means?
No,
Lettuce, tomato, red onions. It's so good you'll forget all about the time you thought you were better than ranch.
I think Shea, you are perfect for this conversation I would like to have.
This is exciting.
Let's
He won't tell
bite
us
in.
ahead of time.
So
He likes to get a fresh
Please.
reaction.
my kids and my wife, and I would say myself, just kind of by osmosis, they are huge Taylor Swift fans.
Okay.
Huge. Went to several concerts.
Yeah.
I went to one here in Kansas City, and
Oh,
it
you went
was.
to the one that was at Arrowhead?
Did you go?
I did not.
It was the most insane
Oh, I believe it.
thing I have ever witnessed in my life, and I will say this. I've said this many times. There are 4 musical acts in this category, and you'll understand what I'm saying.
Okay.
There are the Beatles, there is Elvis, there is Michael Jackson, and there's Taylor Swift, and there's no one else that I'm aware of in history who has been able to get that kind of passion and just fanaticism out of their fan base. It was wild. It is. I mean, I don't know. I think there were 70,000 people there
Yeah.
or close to it.
Yeah.
Every one of them.
She did a phenomenal job from what I
Screaming
saw.
at the top of their lungs,
Yeah.
crying, trading bracelets,
Can I add something to
dancing.
his
Yeah, please
question
do.
about that? Does it have something to do with women? Because those 4
a good
groups,
point.
when you look at the old footage of the people at those concerts,
It was largely women.
the women are so over the top, out of control, screaming, whether it's for Taylor Swift as a fellow woman or for Elvis as a guy or the
Yeah.
Beatles, they're the ones that are jumping on the cars and hitting everything. And it doesn't seem like the guys are. So do women drive that over the top popularity of musical acts?
Absolutely.
Why do you think that is?
Well, that's pretty good. Took a little bite.
That's very good.
Mess up the lip.
This
But,
is one of the great sandwiches.
I think that's
I've had.
better than the Gobbler.
This
The
is,
Gobbler
this
was
is
great.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
and I've learned to enjoy ranch a little bit more. I've been picky about ranch too,
You
but
know what?
I
I'm
like
right
it a
there
little
with
bit
you.
more now.
I'm speaking my language.
Okay, see, we're right here
Yeah.
on the same wavelength. Well, I would add Beyonce in that category.
I don't
Her
know.
touring, the performances, the rollout, the dancing, and I look at singers. I love singers because I can't sing. That was the one gift that I wish God would have given me. But I am very thank you. I appreciate that. So I feel like He gave me the nice voice to be like, all right, we don't need you singing because I would never shut up. But I would add Beyonce in that category. But I do think that women, we are the drivers of a lot of things. And when we think of like radio, in terms of that, musically it's the same thing. So if you think about it in the sense of if there is a popular song out, if the women love it, the men are going to eventually love it for a couple of reasons. One, because maybe it's a girl that they like that loves that song.
And they're dancing in the club
They're
or
dancing
something.
to it, yeah. Or maybe it's the fact that they know that even clubs, typically they let women in free because they know that's going to drive men to want to go. So I do think that women, we have a certain type of power and influence that, men just don't have.
Do you think it has anything to do with the fact that when women get very excited, they scream and they're much louder than men?
I think that could play a role too. I don't
When
know.
they really like something.
I don't know.
I scream
And,
out.
well, I also think women are way more expressive and comfortable when it comes to dancing.
Yeah, because
Because
we're not going to
women are always on the dance floor, even when they're young. A lot of guys are shy about being on the
Yeah.
dance floor. They don't want to draw that kind of attention.
Yeah.
Whereas women, when they
Don't
hit
care.
the dance floor, that's
Yeah.
when they seem to lose their
But
inhibitions
think about it,
historically.
the Beatles
Yeah.
were all driven by screaming.
By women,
Yeah.
yeah, that's my
screaming,
point.
And I,
I
of course,
think
wasn't around
very
then, but
loud.
from what I
But
see.
I think with Taylor Swift, I think her lyrics really
Resonate.
strike a chord
With
Absolutely.
yeah.
Because she's relatable with her love stories. And then right now
Yeah.
with her dating Travis Kelce, I mean, that,
Yeah.
that has everybody, going crazy. And then I think that also just continues to add to Kansas City being just a driver in a lot of
why
things
do you
right
think
now.
we all get so personally invested in a relationship like that? And why is it seems like half the people just want to see nothing but happiness and success for them, and the other half seem
Well,
intent on
because,
taking
first
them
of all,
down.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift fans, if they saw her eating a Bay Boy sandwich, that
They're gonna
place
go to
would
Bay
have a
Boy,
line
yeah.
from here to St. Louis.
Absolutely.
Well, it should.
From here to
If she
Cleveland.
tried that
That's
chicken
right.
bacon ranch,
I've not gotten to my.
she'd love it.
This isn't the conversation, though.
I'm sorry. I feel like I took it in an
No, that's fine. It's great.
But I want to hear where you were going.
Yeah.
So I don't know where we were, but somebody asked the question, because we advertise heavily, because she spends a lot of time in Kansas City, we have billboards. Do you think that Taylor Swift, A, knows who we are, and B, has she ever seen a clip of our show?
Well, I want to
And
make sure I send it to her. So
if so, Taylor, just comment yes on any of these things. Now, Travis Kelce, I think almost certainly has seen a clip.
Yeah.
He's probably got more time on his hands than she does.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, Mahomes. Yeah.
But
They're
I
both
would
stupid.
think if either of you have seen this, please just put a yes. Just drop a yes
just let us know.
on any video, and let's see. Because I think that it's almost certain that Taylor Swift certainly knows our name, right?
I would hope.
Yeah,
Unless
I'm sure
she's
people
just
have
so-
seen it. Yeah.
But
You guys are everywhere.
Right.
But
And
do
you're, yeah.
go ahead.
I was just gonna say you guys are instilled in my childhood. So I've been, in my upbringing in St. Louis.
And
So-
we're very proud.
Yeah.
But you're jaded
makes
by the
us feel
St.
good
Louis.
whenever we hear
You know what I mean? I think.
Yeah, of course.
Because you
Yeah.
were in St. Louis at
But
a
even
time.
Kansas City, I mean, you guys
Yeah.
have some type of placement on our station.
Yeah.
So once I saw it, I was like, okay, I wanted to make sure you guys had some connections with our station. And I looked and I was like, oh, they've been,
Yeah, we've been here.
Yeah.
you guys have been involved at our
Do
station.
you think Taylor
I love the
Swift,
independent station.
Yeah.
I like them much better. Than
Yeah.
the-
do you think Taylor Swift has a much smaller male following than some of the other groups you said? Like the
Yes,
Beatles, I
I
think
do.
had a lot of male following.
I
Because you
Elvis
have- yeah.
had it.
Yeah.
And who was the other one? Michael Jackson.
yeah.
And I think Taylor Swift,
I think that just stands to reason. Just
Because
she
Yeah,
was
it's-
very-
yeah.
I mean,
well, and I think her music, as to
Yeah,
their point,
she's
is written
like-
very much in that female sensibility.
Yeah.
And she's, I don't know enough about songwriting to say if she is Bob Dylan or closer to how you write songs. But I will say this: she can write hit after hit
Yeah.
after
She's a hit
hit.
maker. There are certain
It is
people like Adam
unbelievable.
Levine and Rob Thomas who just seem to know how to write in the language that
Yeah.
has
Okay.
hooks,
Yeah.
and they all become hit makers.
But do
And they're different enough that they don't sound all the same. She's a pretty remarkably talented
Songwriting
human
is
being.
very
They can write a
underrated.
hook.
I'd say that
You
too.
can get a hook.
But
Yeah.
don't you think that there is a certain amount of buildup that an artist gets after X number of hit songs?
Yeah.
That after that, just about anything.
Yeah, but
they do,
that can cut both
I
ways.
do
'cause
agree.
then as soon as they start comparing you to your earlier self,
Yeah.
then you got problems. Because then they're constantly either saying that you're doing the same thing over and over and you got to compete with that,
Or you're not
or
growing.
you're not doing it good enough and you got to compete
I
with
think
that.
it's the exact opposite because
I'm
I
with
think
you.
when
I
people
think
have
people get-
big albums, I think the anticipation for the next album, people are
and
hypercritical.
people are
Yeah,
dying to
so-
knock you down. You
Yeah.
know, they just
If it's
are.
not-
We're living in a
if it
miserable
doesn't sound
society.
like how they want it to sound, it's like this is awful, off of rip. So it is high
The thing is,
expectations.
if you give them more of the same,
Yeah.
Think about people that were big and are still big 30 years later. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a handful.
Yeah, lots of one-hit wonders, lots of people that are here
Well,
for a
there's-
year or two.
But there's a lot of people that have 5, 10 good careers,
Mm-hmm.
and then they couldn't buy it. Do you think Paul McCartney could have a hit now? Or
Yes.
well, he could write a hit.
With
I don't think
the
he
way
could
social
perform
media-
Because he doesn't have the voice.
Yeah, I was gonna
But
say.
like Lil Wayne just had an album that came out.
Mm-hmm.
Highly anticipated. Everyone's looking forward to this album.
yeah.
It comes out and it is absolute garbage. Everyone agreed instantly.
Yeah, and I haven't
terrible.
listened. I haven't listened to the entire project.
Don't.
I
The first couple of songs were okay. I was like,
I
oh,
listened to
okay.
like a couple,
And then
and I liked a couple.
Like the
so
first three.
That's why I said I'm biased. I grew up listening to Young Money, so in the
Yeah.
era it was Nicki Minaj, Drake, and Wayne. Those three. So
I
that was a
wanted to
lot.
love it.
And so I didn't fully listen to Wayne. I know
But
he's
Mr.
on tour, so I will go to the tour to finish my trifecta. I've seen Nicki Minaj. I have also seen Drake, so I just want to finish my trifecta. But it's like I'm not looking forward to sing to listening to the recent album. I want to hear the stuff before anyway.
But
And there's plenty of it.
Mr. Little Wayne.
Mr.
That's
Little.
just one person's opinion. We don't want you to be too upset and think none of us love it.
No, it sounds like they were sharing a
It was
collective
universally-
opinion that he said Universal several times.
You know,
Was
I,
it not?
he may
I mean,
be-
I haven't listened to it, but I heard a lot of reviews that were similar.
Everybody
to that.
said
Like,
He's going to take it
many
out on
reviews
them.
were like that. Yeah.
Oh, you're going to
We're-
take it out?
No,
I don't think-
we're fine. We didn't
I
say
don't
anything
think he
bad about
cares
Lil
much
Wayne.
of us. I think there are much more.
He might need to call you guys one day.
He's got
Hopefully
some
not.
other
You know,
targets,
but-
I think,
Did it
that are
sell?
bigger voices.
Yeah, no. Oh, I don't know.
I don't-
That's what I
Did it
said. I
sell?
don't even
I don't
know
think so.
what the first week
I
sales
mean, when you
were.
say it was terrible, besides yourself,
Everybody thought it was
everybody-
terrible.
A lot of people online
Speaking of
spoke about
sales,
it.
when they do like the Billboard charts, are those purely based on sales or are those based on how much airplay they're getting?
So it depends on where you're getting the source from, because I follow a couple pages on Twitter that are stemming from like Billboard and charts, where they'll break down this is just pure sales, and then also some sales are also included with merchandise. So that's a lot of confusion too, where people they're trying to sell. So what better way to sell? If people aren't buying your music, you sell them merchandise. They're probably going to buy your merchandise, and then you count that as a sale.
Are sales, do they include down? I mean, is that all down?
Streams is a big metric.
So I'm not 100% sure. It just depends on like.
Well, and
where
that's the
you're
other thing
looking.
too. If streams are a big metric, what happens if I listen to the same song 100 times?
Yeah.
Does that count as 100 streams?
Yeah.
Oh,
See, now to me,
I've always wondered how they actually calculate. I'm not 100%
yeah,
sure.
I feel like you should. It almost should require a formula that takes all of those things into account.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure they have some type of process, and Spotify and Apple
Well, I'm
are
sure,
different.
like every other process, it's
What
been
do you even
corrupted.
buy?
but they pay you
That's
by
true.
the stream. Like, in theory, they pay the artist
But
by the
if
stream.
you go buy somebody's music
Uh-huh.
at a store, and I know
I didn't even-
Which is so ancient.
No,
I didn't
to
even
do.
know that you can do that.
Yeah, can you do that?
I think
Like,
you can
in
still buy
my
a CD.
car, I
Or
can't
maybe
play.
I buy
I can't
vinyl,
play
so
Can you play a CD in
I
any of your many cars?
Oh, I
No.
think I technically could, but why would I?
I
mean,
know, but I don't
Yeah.
have.
I haven't
I don't
used
have
a.
CD player.
Wait, I don't want to overlook. What was this?
Now this, I'm gonna. This is the Crown Town
Oh.
Club, and I'm gonna read you what this is
I
real
like
quick.
that.
The Boar's
I'm
Head
gonna take these
Mesquite
home, guys.
smoked turkey ham, delicious thick cut hickory smoke bacon, lettuce, tomato, red onion, chipotle mayo. What can I say?
You're
But this
reading
is
the Babe
a
Boy?
straight crowd pleaser. This is the Crown Town
Are you saying
Club.
that, or is that?
I think this is the Bay Boy.
Wait, the
no,
Bay
here's
Boy
the
is not
Crown
been,
Town.
Oh, well, this is not
Club.
listed. Now I say this.
Huh.
It's not listed here, but if they gave us a Bay Boy, that's my normal order when I go there.
It's good.
So
so
and
you've
this
had
does
that
look.
before?
Oh my God, yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, Bay Boy. Ever since I had it the first time, now it's a staple for me whenever I come to town.
Yeah, and I
so.
saw that was like. the
And
sandwich.
if I'm there live, I'm going to get a hot sandwich. Because a hot sandwich generally better than a cold sandwich.
Yeah,
Of
yeah.
those
But
four
when you
groups,
have
I
one
prefer
named
that.
after the place,
What
You gotta
four
get
you
it.
have to assume.
Yeah.
What four groups?
did you ever
Absolutely.
see Michael Jackson?
No.
And I wish I could have seen these type of things too, but you know.
Or
Didn't see Elvis. Didn't see Michael.
Oh my God,
Jackson,
is that good?
Didn't see the Beatles.
Did you try that yet?
Which
Think
one
about
is
that.
The
It's
Bay
the
Boy.
Bay Boy. It's
Oh,
very
that is
good.
the baby.
Folks,
I saw Taylor Swift, and it was
Oh, yeah, that's the one you saw.
crazy. And
I saw
I still
Taylor Swift.
danced
Who
for
else have
3
y'all
hours.
seen in concert that you really were like, this is really good, or maybe you like the artist more?
I've seen everybody.
Really?
Pretty much.
So you've seen
I've
the
seen a
Beatles?
lot of people. No, I'm not old enough to see the Beatles. Shit,
Is
how
that
old do
a-
you think I am? Jesus Christ, she's been here 10 minutes.
We're
She's
up the
insulting
street from
me.
each other.
I know.
I've seen a concert that was
Six.
very good.
Come on.
I'm turning 54.
I'll tell you who I saw that was, and I hate to even say this.
Cool.
I thought, did Kendrick Lamar and SZA come here?
Yeah. Like, oh no, they can't.
Did they come? I don't think. Yeah,
No.
they were in St. Louis. They didn't come to Kansas City.
It was, it was a little disappointing for me.
What were you necessarily looking for?
I
haven't been to a
here's the
Kendrick Lamar
problem.
concert.
I think it's very difficult for a stadium concert to be good. And that was the problem. And I don't begrudge him. He had a phenomenal year.
Yeah.
Let him make
Yeah,
his
he's been
money
killing it.
on a stadium tour.
Absolutely.
I went there. I had a great time, but it's just not the same
Yeah.
as if it's in a more intimate
Yeah,
place.
of course not. Yeah.
I mean, there was a lot of energy. It was great, but it was still, it's just, I saw it in LA too. And so I was expecting it to just be crazy
Yeah,
like the pop out he did was.
This is a great.
But it was in too big. It was at SoFi Stadium. It was just too big. Too many people.
Oh, SoFi. Yeah.
Now I've gone to see a lot of all the legends. I've seen Paul McCartney. I've seen Bruce Springsteen. I've seen Billy Joel 10 times.
Oh,
I've
nice.
seen Elton John.
Okay. Cool.
I've seen the Eagles were probably my favorite of the groups because I mean, every one of their songs is just such a hit, and they put on a good show. And that's back when I got to see them when Glenn Fry was still alive. Although I hear it's still a pretty good show now, but I just don't see how it could be the same without Glenn Fry.
It's cool if you ever get a chance to see.
Sphere.
Oh my God! I forgot about that at the Sphere in Las Vegas.
Oh yeah, okay. I haven't been. I have not been to Vegas since they had the Sphere. We're going next month.
That is
so
amazing.
I'm excited to
Go
gotta go
see
to the-
like
Yeah, I gotta check
anything.
it out,
Go see
yeah.
a Wizard of Oz puppet show there. Like anything is
They
great.
are having the Wizard of Oz.
Oh really?
Really?
It's
Okay.
anything
We-
there
the
is.
The Wiz was just here in Kansas City. They've been touring. I got a chance to intro for them. They the Wiz, the Broadway play.
You know, you may be too young to remember this. Have you ever heard of the Oz
Yeah,
nightclub?
yeah.
in
East, I think it was on the East St. Louis side. Was that not?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was in Sauget. It was like in the parking lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So across the parking lot from
was the Wiz, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And it was
See,
really
I'm not that young.
yeah, okay. And it was really like one was sort of a white club and one was sort of a black club across the park. It's such a strange.
And of course, I was too young
Phenomenon.
to attend, but
Right.
I know family members that were there.
You ever go to the monastery?
Yes,
Too
I am
young?
familiar. Yeah, I am
Yeah.
familiar. But I wasn't. So honestly, whenever I asked my mom to do stuff, she was like, getting a lot of information type of parent.
Yeah.
So, sometimes that strays you away from doing stuff. You're like, you know what, girl? I don't even want to go no more.
Oh, you get too much information on the monastery or
There's
like
certain
the spotlight
things.
back then. You don't want information, or
And I
else
was
you're right.
going,
You're not.
I was going to Skate King and doing like Coach Light and like doing more of the kid activities
Yeah.
when I was in St. Louis. I really didn't experience nightlife, of course, till I was in Kansas City because
Yeah.
I was turning 18 and 19.
Guys, do you think people remember that we're not just guys eating sandwiches, but we're actually a law firm that handles injury cases?
You think the podcast has gotten so big, they forgot about our roots?
Have they forgotten about this man, 45 years on the television, telling people that we don't get paid unless you get paid? Do you think they know that?
Tell them.
We don't get paid if you don't get paid.
There you go. You've been hurt? Call us. Now back to the podcast.
Here, so I didn't get a chance to experience some of that stuff back home.
What is the place over there? The real,
You're thinking of the monastery.
yeah, the left right. Wasn't that a dance?
The mono.
Yeah, the mono
Yeah.
I remember talking to. I never.
or the Nina Pop.
You
as some
wanted to
people
go,
like to
though.
say.
Yeah,
You were
I
dying to
wanted
go.
somebody to go with me.
Can you hit it? Can you hit the Nina Pop or the mono?
Are you gonna?
Not with my back.
No, I'm
Not
asking
with this
everybody.
Me, I don't know. I don't know
The
what you
little
guys are
pancake.
talking
Have you
about.
ever hit a pancake? Does anybody know that dance move?
You ever go to
No.
Chipotle? Really? That
Okay.
place was crazy.
We were lucky to get Terry onto that side of the table.
Okay,
I
okay.
fell.
Anyway,
Okay, so no pop locking and
Let me
dropping.
ask
I
you
got
this.
you.
You're doing 20 hours a week. on
didn't he
radio.
die?
Am I? No,
Aren't
not
you?
really.
How many hours a week? You're doing 4 hours a day,
He
5
did,
days
right?
a week, are you not?
Yes, 5 days a week. So
4 hours a day,
six.
that's 20 hours a week.
I used
Yes,
to-
and we really do
They-
more. So
no,
I
they-
have
they
a
got that
co-host.
part, yeah.
Shout out to my co-host Brian B. Shining. He's like a big brother to me.
You come up with stuff to talk about them. And now you guys
Oh,
are
it's
playing a lot of
endless.
music.
It's endless. Yes, we play music because where people are on their way to their drive. So the way I look at it is we're not trying to overpower the music. We're not trying to overpower and talk to you too much. We're just kind of holding your hand as you get to your location and your destination safely.
Just
That's kind
a
of how.
friendly, pleasant voice.
Yeah, letting you know what's new, what's happening in Kansas City. So we do a lot of interviews. We have a lot of we talk to the mayor every Monday. So Mayor Q is on our show each and every Monday.
Oh, really?
Yep. And so
and he
he's
is
great.
well loved here, correct?
Yeah, I mean, you're the mayor. You're gonna get hate and love.
Quentin Lucas,
yep,
right?
Quentin
Yeah.
Lucas.
Who
Yep.
is the guy? Slick or
Sly James.
Sly
Yeah,
James.
he was the mayor previous to this, and that was before I think I was really involved in Kansas City to know. Emmanuel.
an odd name for.
Yes. Yeah.
So what
it
are you
was.
doing in Kansas City? Well, what are the fun stuff? When you're advising people, here's what's coming up this weekend.
Well, that's
Here
why
are
I was
the
asking you
places I
guys if
go
you know
to.
how to hit the dances. I was going to send you to a couple clubs.
Right,
Well,
she needs to know what dances we know to
Give
know
us the
about that.
landscape.
Well,
What do we need to know out here?
Well, I'll say first, it depends on what the vibe is people are looking for. So for me, being in my 20s, I still go out and kick it, but I also am doing events as work. So like that is my work. So I'm going out to the clubs, but it's like I'm also going for work. So once I'm done, it's like, all right, I'm ready to go home. So I have a balance of my social media kind of starts to go down. So it depends on what your purpose is in going out, as if it's a birthday weekend or whatnot. But I also DJ. So we were talking about concerts. I thought it was interesting too, because I love concerts, but not for the reasons you guys think, not for the entertainment and enjoying the acts, but because normally I have the chance to host the concert like in the beginning, kind of that pre-show and engaging with the crowd. Yeah, and DJing. And so I just had a chance to DJ. We had Maxwell. He came for our 75th anniversary to the T-Mobile Center. So it was Maxwell and there was a couple other acts. And so I got a chance to DJ that show to get people hype and ready for his performance.
Do you
so,
DJ?
Yeah.
Like records?
Like DJ, spin, play songs, headset, on the mic, turning people up.
Crossfader, the whole thing.
A whole thing. Scratching
Really?
in, mixing in, whole thing. So
What do people use?
I use a controller.
Do
So
people? You like Serato or something?
yeah, of course.
Okay.
The software is Serato is what I
Okay.
use, and I have a DJ controller. I think it's the Rev 4 or 5. I get the numbers confused because it's weird. And I've DJed on a Rev 7 before.
So let's say you're a 54-year-old white guy who doesn't really like to do anything.
Yeah, what are you looking
What would you
for?
recommend?
What are you looking for?
these are great questions.
Burger.
Okay, so if you're looking, burger. I heard you guys might have went to Town Topic. That is a
we
spot.
did. We had a good time there.
You know, that is a spot. I'm biased on a lot of things because I feel like when I first came to Kansas City, I was disappointed at first with the food places because I didn't know where to go. But then I got a chance and I went and met Kansas City people and KCK friends, and they were like, no, you need to go to Gates on this street and ask for the seasoned fries and ask for the right thing. So I've gotten a chance to come.
Oh, so it's all like secret menus.
Well, it's not secret menus. You just have to
you gotta
know
find
what
it.
to ask.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that, like, Gates, for instance, had the seasoned fries. And so once my Kansas City friends were like, you didn't know that? And I went by myself.
How would you
I had no idea. That's what I
It's
said.
like
How would I
getting
know?
what do people used to order at White Castle? The mix.
Yeah, I've never
It
got
was
that
like
day in my
orange
life.
drink
Yeah.
Yeah.
and something
What
else.
a big deal.
It wasn't like secret, but like people ordered things
Well,
specifically.
you know, you can get a chicken Big Mac at McDonald's if you ask for one. They'll make
Is
you a
that right?
Big Mac, but they'll do it with the fried chicken instead of with a burger.
See?
Yeah,
Secret
you gotta
menu.
know, secret
That's
menu.
menu right
So what
there.
are some of the best places, and then what do I have to order at those best places? Give me your favorite.
Okay, I'll give you my
spots here.
favorite list. Okay, so I actually
Wanna
just
cut up the
had
last one, or we have another one, by the way?
Yeah.
the CTC. Is that what we're about to do?
Yep, the
Yeah.
Downtown Club.
Okay. So Wings Cafe is one that I enjoy.
Wings?
Wings Cafe.
Like chicken wings?
And so they have several other
As
things.
opposed to what?
Well, I don't know if she said wings or
question.
wings.
It could have been the theme. It could have been an
Airplane.
It's
airplane
Wings
theme.
Cafe, but they
Wings.
sell seafood. That's the
Could have
gag.
been an airplane themed restaurant.
And so Wings Cafe is one, and I enjoy them for their wings. They have a sauce that reminds me of St. Louis.
Oh, yeah,
It's called the Firecracker. It's similar to me to Schnucks wings at that at the deli when you can get the
Yeah.
So
I've heard.
the sauce is very similar to that. So that looks good. See the meals when they have the lettuce and everything look so cute dressed up. I just can't eat
Yeah.
it.
Very colorful.
I get it. I mean,
it's
it looks
colorful,
like
that's what it
something
is.
for rabbits.
Does
Let's go to
anybody,
pictures.
does anybody else see? I believe wings should be discarded as a
Oh,
historical mistake
Mm.
and go right to chicken nuggets or chicken tenders.
You don't like wings?
I mean, not anything compared.
He prefers the
I
tender.
don't like.
I like tenders.
I don't
It's too much
like
effort
eating-
for him.
No,
Okay.
I don't like gristle.
Mm.
I like a good, honest chew. You know,
Wow.
like chicken
Where is it?
tenders.
I've never heard anybody say that
No,
in
it's-
damn life.
let me say this. I
know,
get
Over
it.
the
You know,
edge of five.
That's why we wake up.
Listen,
every
and I
morning.
get it. You know, I mean, I get it. Sometimes you
I
get a bad
don't. I
one.
don't get it at all.
You get a bad one. It's fatty and it's got
Yeah.
the thick skin on it.
Are
You're
you
like,
saying,
this
if you're
isn't worth
saying
it.
you
is a bad
Then you get the
chicken
rubbery,
wing,
you know.
I get but I've had some bad chicken
But when you
nuggets,
get-
chicken
but when you
tenders
get a
before
good-
too.
You know, I've
compare a great chicken
Well, that's
tender.
good. I need to go where you go.
thank you, God.
But you can't compare a bad chicken tender or a bad wing to a great chicken tender.
No, but
I'm
I
just
think
saying
his
there's
point
a
is
lot
a
of bad-
tender.
there's a lot of
Yeah, a tender
It's
has
always-
Pass all those
almost always good. Even a bad tender is
And
not bad.
You can
And
never,
wings.
you can never see those.
They're a low
little
percentage
holes
food.
It's
Where
they're-
You know, I'm thinking
feathers
about all the
used to
other
be.
food spots that
You
I've
can see the hairs
You
on the
can
wings.
see it,
Yeah,
yeah.
the little
On a
hairs,
bad
the
wing,
little,
you never
you know,
see
they don't
that on a
quite pluck
tender.
it all.
And-
Never on a tender.
And the breading is covers the whole thing.
Okay, I get I get
I
the
don't think
idea of what
a
you're.
Listen,
great
it's
chicken
a
tender is still
personal-
not that great.
Oh, it is.
They're doing great.
You know, I've had some really good tenders before, so
Damn right.
I understand where he's coming
Why
from.
do you think every kid eats chicken?
But I
tender?
love wings as well. So it just
They
depends
don't
on
in other
it
countries.
depends on what you all want. Gates, I always recommend Gates. Of course, Kansas City being that a barbecue staple. So people do go to Arthur Bryant's. I have been, so my co-host and I a long time ago, we did a short barbecue tour where we went to several different places. Arthur Bryant's was one. I'm not a fan of their sauces. Their sauces have a certain texture to it that I can't really adapt to. But the meats that they have, really good. Tender.
The sauce.
What about Slaps?
Slaps is good as well, and that's in KCK. So big shout out to them. So no, I've enjoyed Slaps. I'm trying to think of some other places that I've tried. Char Bar, underrated burnt ends. Love those. Those
I
are
like
pretty.
a burnt end.
Yeah, and so
I like Q39.
I do like Q39 as well. They're good.
We'll go elevated.
Non-barbecue. Because I feel like it's easy to find great barbecue in Kansas. You throw a rock
Depending
and you'll
on what
hit
you
great
get.
barbecue.
Yeah, you should be able to land into some good
So
places.
non-barbecue.
What do I really particularly
Let me
eat?
ask you a question about something that Kansas City doesn't have,
Uh-oh.
and they should.
It's two things that I know that they don't have. Let me see if we align.
Okay. Have you ever had a, what do you call it? The sandwich at the Chinese place.
Oh,
A
St. Paul? They don't have St. Paul's here, but I wouldn't eat. Yeah, so I don't eat Chinese food in Kansas City. I don't play like that.
But have you ever had a St. Paul?
I don't eat the egg. I don't do
St.
egg.
Okay.
My dad,
It's a great sandwich.
my dad loves St. Paul. I actually just went
You
back
never had a
home.
St. Paul?
I try one. It's terrible. I don't eat eggs.
You know,
Yeah, that's
he
what I
doesn't
said. I
like
don't
eggs.
eat
That's the
eggs, so
problem.
that's the reason why we don't
Yeah,
do
that's
St.
gonna be-
Paul's. But my dad loves
What
a
were you
St.
just
Paul,
saying?
and he loves red hot riblets. So I just went back home. We just
Two
did
things
a
you can't get in Kansas City. I'm putting you
that.
back on track.
Okay. Two things you can't get. You can get it at a couple places. It's not commonly known. Fries with cheese. It's cheese fries.
Well, you know, my friend Ian's mother claims she served the first order of cheese fries ever
Oh, really?
at a restaurant in Chicago that I think credits itself with inventing the cheese fries.
that's
She didn't
neat.
invent them.
I love
It was
Chicago.
just some guy many years ago who said,
Really? Let
can
me
you put
just go
cheese on those
dilly
things? She's
dally.
like, I guess. She was a waitress.
Wow.
Claims to have served the first order of cheese
I
fries.
also claim to invent nachos.
Oh, you
But
did that.
yeah, but it turns out
Makes
I
so much
didn't.
sense now.
It turns out I came up with a system that I believe was exclusive to me. Actually, right, you know that the nachos got their name. You know, nacho is a nickname for the Spanish or the Mexican name Ignacio. And there was a chef down in a restaurant down in Mexico named Ignacio who went by the nickname Nacho. And on the menu was listed as Nacho Special because he came up with this. And they just started calling them
I
nachos.
thought he like accidentally dropped a burrito and it unrolled on top of some tortilla chips.
No,
it was like a Reese's peanut butter
he came
cup.
up with it, but it was his name. It was
That's what I
Nacho
thought.
Special.
Huh.
But over the course of time, they just started shortening it, just calling it Nacho.
The more you know.
Ever just established that
Yeah, I
one
was going to
person
get to the second thing.
actually did it?
Sometimes they are, but then you get a lot of people
that's what
putting out
good dishes
misinformation,
happen.
like your business with the tomato ketchup yesterday.
And I
So,
think
yeah.
my friend Dave Platt's father is credited with inventing the Reuben.
Oh,
I
really?
mean, by
Reuben
everybody?
I think there
I'm
are,
not a fan.
yeah.
Not a great.
I
Yes,
think
I'm
there
not a
are,
fan
if
of
you
that.
look it up in Wikipedia,
I'm more of
I
a turkey girl.
think there are
So,
people who claim to. He owned a restaurant called Reuben's in New York City. I mean, where else would it come from?
Marsha Cohen's dad claimed he invented the taco salad.
So we learn stuff new every
Yeah,
day.
right?
Man,
I wish I had
you know
something
what you
to
learned
invent.
today?
That's
A lot of people are lying.
That's
They
right.
are lying.
I'm going to look up where the
The other
cheese
thing
fry
was
was
the-
invented.
The other thing, I mean,
Hamburgers.
You know what? I did
Should've been
invent
in a
a couple
hamburger.
things. I did invent a couple things. One
Okay.
thing, I'll say before I mention my great inventions, was the other thing was the honey sriracha wings. Like if you go to New York Grill or Miami Grill in St. Louis, those are very popular places. Or even the fish house, not the fish house, fish and chicken. Some of those St. Louis spots, they have the honey sriracha or honey hot wings.
Yeah.
Here, when I first came, it wasn't as popular. So I was like, where are the honey hot wings and where are the cheese fries? That was kind of what I was just looking for. And like I said, I don't do
But now
fried
out
rice in
here,
Kansas
though,
City.
you get pig wings in Kansas City. You don't get those in St. Louis.
Yeah,
Their pig wing is like our
You did
toasted
invent it,
ravioli.
but you popularized.
I'll take it, but I don't think that I did.
No, I'm giving.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
I am the one who
You're giving me the
makes
gold star.
this decision.
Okay.
He makes
It's
stuff
there.
up and it sticks.
It's a little
I like
side
it.
job.
You brought in the trophy. I think we should let people know because this is brand new.
Yeah, it's brand
Because
spectacular.
this was presented to you just
Yes.
past week.
Yes, it happened.
Hold it up for the camera because I don't know if they can. Oh, they can see it there a little bit. It's on camera. Read what it says because they took.
What is it
Can I
for?
see it?
So yeah, please do.
But
Check it out.
go ahead, Terry. Read because the audience going to know what it says.
2025, Kansas City People's Choice Awards. The Chris King Best Radio Personality, Deonna Hustle.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you all.
Now, tell us who Chris King was that they've named this
Award
head
after
of
him.
honors.
Yes, so Chris King was a phenomenal radio personality, and he worked at Hot 103 Jams. He was instrumental in just popularizing Hot 103 Jams, and he did a lot for the community and everybody. Of course, when I came to Kansas City back in 2015, throughout my time period of being there, that was a name that I always used to hear. I'm like, who was Chris King? Who was Chris King? And so unfortunately in the last, I believe year or two, he passed away. So they wanted to honor him. The Kansas City People's Choice Awards. Big shout out to Terrell Ray for putting that together.
That's awesome.
And so that stems from the name of it being the Chris King Radio Personality Award. So
That's a pretty special one.
yeah, it was really nice, especially being from St. Louis and just kind of being able to. Kansas City has become my second home, so it's like
You've been on about a year and a half so far.
Honestly, 6 years. I'm at that point of
No,
being
but
at
on
Hot 103
this
Jams.
out here
Morning
in Kansas
show.
City.
Nope, 5 to 6 years of being on Hot 103 Jams. A year and a half, almost 2 years of being on the morning show.
Okay.
Yep.
Tell me about. Yeah, I saw something. You have you were maybe involved with the Put the Guns Down campaign. There was something I saw a clip.
So I
maybe
do
you were
post
just
a lot of
talking
stuff. So
about it.
maybe I'm trying to think. Maybe it could have been which is not completely. These are completely two different events. So I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
I post a lot of events, but I know that recently we had a 12-hour donation drive. And so it was for St. Louis, which is another piece of why I love Kansas City and I love my hometown.
So you still have a foot in events in St. Louis.
Yeah, because we did it here. That's the beauty of it all. And so when the tornadoes hit St. Louis, I saw how many people were impacted. Luckily, my immediate family was not, but we knew a lot of friends and family members that were affected. And so I went to my program director and I said, yo, this is what's going on in St. Louis. You know, this is a big part of me, the STL and hustle. It's capitalized. Everyone knows I'm from St. Louis because they hear it in the accent. So could we find a way to do something for St. Louis in Kansas City?
That's awesome.
And so the whole station got behind it. We did a 12-hour relief drive. And so we raised a little bit over $6,000 with Heart to Heart International. And then I went to St. Louis like a month or so ago, and we donated those disaster relief kits.
We got hit hard.
Yeah, it's awful.
Do we have an accent?
Yes.
We do.
Well, you do. You know, it comes out on certain words, of course.
I do.
Say brewery.
But I guess brewery.
I've been able to say it better now.
I'm not from St.
Wait,
Louis.
how do you
I'm a New Yorker. So.
Oh,
I think
okay.
there's several different St.
How do
Louis
you say
accents.
it? Let me hear.
Well, I can say it better now because I
Well, how did
practiced
you
it.
used to say it?
Probably brewery.
I think that's
it was
what I
hard.
said.
Brewery.
Brewery.
But it's
Like, does
I
it
don't
go
think-
along with right there,
Yeah,
right
yeah.
her,
Her.
Well,
there,
I say
where.
sharks.
sharts? That's another one of the.
I've also noticed in St.
Louis.
Louis there are certain names that are not said correctly, like the name Barry, Barry Gibb.
Mm-hmm.
In St. Louis, they tend to say Berry,
Yeah.
like a strawberry.
Like it's B
And
E
you're
R
like,
R
So
Y.
say it again.
well, Barry is how you
Barry.
is how you would pronounce
I'll say
it
Barry.
correctly.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Barry.
that's a St. Louis accent.
Barry or
Barry.
Aaron. A lot of people, we have people Aaron, and I'm like, look, I'm so sorry. I'm probably gonna butcher your name, Aaron.
Yeah,
I say it
it's
like
Aaron.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's part of. Listen,
guess-
different parts of
but
the
I-
country
but I
pronounce
think
things differently.
People don't recognize their own accent.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Only the
not.
difference.
Although you
Yeah.
don't think people do when you have extreme accents.
When
I
I
think
went
when
to
you have
Kansas City, that's when I learned it. I didn't know any of this
'cause you-
until I
Is
came
there
to Kansas
is there
City.
a Kansas City? I guess
They do, and it's actually been a topic lately on like
What's it-
Facebook. Is the
talk like
fact
you're
that-
from Kansas City.
Well, they it's like not finishing words or saying it a certain way or missing the middle of a word. So like shower, I'm finna get in the shower, something like that. I can't get it
Okay.
right, or like they might not say Kansas City, they say Kansas City. It's
Okay.
Kansas City, Kansas
Yeah.
City, the town. That's how my Kansas City cousins speak.
Yeah.
But like, there's a recent video of E40, and he was on Family Feud,
I
and
love E40.
he was saying he has Kansas City and the Bay are like this, just like St. Louis hip hop music is like this with Memphis. And so he said that he had to pick a city that was not from the South, but that he thought was country or had an accent, and he picked Kansas City.
Huh.
So that has been a popular topic these days. But Kansas City has an accent. I don't think it's as strong as St. Louis accents. But it's there. Because when I first came here, I noticed it, and I was like, huh?
Was he
Say it
funny
again.
on Family Feud?
I didn't watch the whole episode,
Okay.
but that clip, I mean,
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I need to watch the episode. I like Family Feud, so every now and then, Family Feud, Judge Judy, they get a little
Who's
bit
the
of my
host?
time.
Is it still Steve Harvey?
Harvey.
Still-
He's
funny.
really good on that
Yeah.
show.
He's funny.
good
He's a
host.
funny
He
guy.
knows how to own that. So I'm
He
sure-
does, and he has a good ear, as the great comedians do. And you know, when you hear something that's funny, and you know that all it requires
Is
is
repeating
just
it.
time and a facial expression.
Yeah.
Nobody is a better listening comic than Steve Harvey.
He's great.
He
Yeah,
hears it,
yeah.
and he knows just how to work the camera, get quiet, and turn, and let the person's own words sort of sit there until everybody kind of gets what was funny
Well,
about it.
yeah,
He
seasoned
also-
vet for sure.
Yeah.
Like we were talking last night, if you have the opening comedian in like, not like when you're on tour with like, you know, Steve Harvey, an opener. I'm talking, you go to Helium in St. Louis or, you know, a local comedy club.
Yeah,
The
like an
opener is
improv.
somebody local. Often these are young comics and they're not that great. They're not that, they don't get a lot of laughs. If you have the headliner take the exact same act,
And
word
do it
for
differently.
word,
Yeah.
and use their timing and their delivery,
Yeah.
it's going to be
Because their
funny.
delivery is
That's
better
right.
too,
That's the
and that's
thing is-
even with music. If
Right.
if you are who you are and you don't know how to say something, your lyrics might seem corny. Rather, somebody
Yeah.
else say it and it sounds perfect.
Exact same words.
Yeah.
You get Steve Harvey reading the phone book, and I'm guessing he could get you some
Well,
laughs.
so much of comedy.
Yeah,
so much,
absolutely.
that's what performance is.
Yeah.
Why is a song in one person's mouth it's a hit, and somebody else's they're just
Yeah.
a house band, which
Yeah,
is perfectly
and the
fine
messenger
too.
does matter. You know, not even just the timing and everything. Sometimes certain people shouldn't be saying certain messages, like lyrics. It's just like we don't
Things
hear
have
that.
to match up to
Right.
be. 'Cause
Yeah,
it has
that
to
makes
be
sense.
authentic.
Yeah,
People are responding to things that are authentic, whether it's music, comedy, or anything.
Yeah,
commercials,
absolutely.
Right.
influencers. I mean, the authenticity is everything.
The listeners, I don't want people to forget what you do is very difficult.
well, I appreciate that.
I mean, to get on the air for how many, 4 hours a day?
yeah.
I mean, I think people think that's an easy thing to do.
I do
And
think
it's-
sometimes people think that.
Oh, I remember we once bought a half hour at a time, and we thought we would just
You didn't know
talk.
you didn't know what to do at that
We
time.
talk about everything, and I look at the clock, and it's we've been talking for 3 minutes and 50 seconds. I mean, it was
And it felt like an
nightmare.
eternity.
And we had said it all.
I mean, and
You're
everything.
like,
I'm telling him my birth weight, and-
Everything.
yeah,
Social
and I
security
mean,
number.
yeah.
But- and it's also important because
Yeah.
you are a dying breed.
Yeah.
So many of these
Absolutely.
stations are sold to big conglomerates. They
Yeah.
get syndicated shows.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the big sort of,
yeah.
like, I remember there was a great radio station, Camiel, in San Francisco,
Okay.
hip hop station. And it was one of these independent stations. It was so great and important because when you have like the big conglomerates, like I would assume your station do you still like on some of the shows play some local artists?
Yeah.
You don't get that
And we
when
have
you get
DJs
a big,
that do mixes, so in their mixes they included. We used to have,
Yeah.
I think, for like 10 years running, they had, and this was before it started before I even got there, where it was a local show, just local music, and so you do lose that touch when all
Yeah.
these things happen. I mean, I'm really sad to hear about what happened with Hot 104.1, and that was what I grew up on in St. Louis, and I'm familiar with some of the DJs that are on that station, so I feel bad for a lot of people that are
Sad.
not in the industry right now because they work for those major companies, and the industry, radio and just media is changing. E-News just I think said that they're canceling too. I don't know if it's the entire program or if it's just a portion or a segment, but because they said that people are getting their news by social
Yeah.
media
Yeah,
these
they're
days.
It's
getting
like
really
anything
fast.
else.
Yeah.
If you have a mom and pop restaurant versus a chain, you're just going to have a different attention to detail, a different ability
Absolutely.
to showcase local things. When you have a local radio station, I just think that's so important for music.
Yeah.
And you're missing something when you get
music and the community.
The community is
Because
the
to
bigger
me,
part.
I
Yeah.
really think that the name of the game really is hyper local.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and all of the big stuff that they're
Yeah.
trying to do to appeal to mass audiences,
Yeah.
they're losing all of the personality.
Yeah, because everybody's
completely.
competing for
Yeah.
that big, like we want everybody.
Right,
Then you're
that's the thing
missing-
is-
people want a sense of community.
Exactly.
You know, and
I think niche
yeah.
programming is where the pendulum is going to go to completely. I think hyper fans, getting them together on the things that they care about
Yeah.
and giving them a community. It worked online. We see it online with Facebook and all the other social media
Absolutely.
groups. To me, that's really the future of radio. But what is your big vision for yourself? Let's have a little manifestation moment.
Love
You're
that.
going to manifest it, put it out in the universe. Just put it out right here on the air.
Yeah.
And just state it. What is where are you going? What is the vision? What's the dream?
I think that there are so many different elements to this because as we have a lot of guests on our show, and I'm sure you all have as well, we're all multi-talented. And so there's so many different areas that I could be pulled in. I'm enjoying doing the morning show, so I see that continuing for my future. We're doing great right now. It's just been amazing to learn because, like I said, I'm only 2 years in, and when I first got that opportunity, I was like, I thought the morning show was for older people, and I was like mid-20s at that point when the job opened up. So I'm like, I have a possibility to do this and be one of the youngest to do this at a historically Black-owned station. Like, let's do it. And so, I am happy that I started my career here. I'm happy to have STL in my name so people know where I come from. So I'm happy that I can marry St. Louis and Kansas City together. And right now, I mean, I DJ, I host, I MC, I DJ every week at In Good Company, which is another beautiful spot, which is a spot that I see you guys at. It's very nice, low key, gives speakeasy vibes, as we talked about earlier, spots for a 50-year-old middle,
I love the idea.
Sophisticated gents like ourselves.
And comfortable chicks.
And I don't drink. That might be a
And
problem.
do they have the kind that, like, you hit a button and it raises?
Do they have
up?
recliners?
They actually do have recliners, I think, all the way.
Is there
We have
an
two
over
levels.
70 section?
There might be. We make it just for you guys.
Yeah.
But I see myself just continuing down that path of trying and expanding to different things and people meeting me at different places.
You like being in the public eye. Is that
It's
something
fun.
you always,
Yeah, it's fun just to entertain, and I like making people feel good.
Yeah.
So when I get to host a concert and just kind of kick it, I call my people cousins. That's how I display myself, is I'm your favorite cousin. So because everyone has a cousin from St. Louis or they know somebody from St. Louis. A lot of Kansas City people used to travel to St. Louis for their trips because I used to travel to Kansas City for my little small family trips. So I feel like I just bring that aspect of we're going to have fun in whatever we're doing, whether that's an interview for a podcast, whether that's us going to the club, whether that's us at a concert. And then when it's time to get serious and talk about those topics like the 12-hour donation drive for the tornadoes in St. Louis, then it's time to get serious. But let's have some fun because it's enough dark out in the world, And so whatever that means for me, whether that is the concerts and all of those things, I just want to be that person and just continue to, get out and get information out to people that wouldn't know things otherwise. And so that's what I've been able to do with the morning show, is bring people on and talk about topics that I didn't even know about. Now I want to educate.
Now tell me if I'm wrong, because I don't want to put words in your mouth. But I always find, look, one of the great challenges, we just do a podcast. We don't have to fill 20 hours a week. And yet I think in our situation, you may be only recording for a certain amount of time, but it's never too far from your mind as you go through your days, because you're always looking for topics and materials and things that might be interesting.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
So to that end, doesn't it kind of feel like you're always in work mode?
It does. And so I've battled with trying to figure out, because I've worked in different careers. Radio at first was part-time for me, and then I worked at Big Brothers Big Sisters to start my career. So I was a brand ambassador. I was a mouthpiece for them going out to the community. So I got a chance to do more public speaking for them. Then I did work at a marketing firm. So I got a chance to learn a little bit about that. Then I got a chance to work at my alma mater, UMKC, and do those type of things. And then I got the position as a morning show co-host. So remind me of.
So you're always working.
I'm always working. So to your point, I've learned that, I get off at 10 a.m. And people are like, you get off air at that time. So that means you just got free time. I'm like, wait. That does not mean that, because like you mentioned, I'm trying to figure out the next story, different things. And I'm trying to keep a pulse on what's happening in the world, the celebrity news and local news. So sometimes it can feel like, I can't take a break. And so I do find myself always working. When I see a story on Twitter, I DM it to myself to keep it.
Give us some celebrity news. Hot off the press.
Hot off the press. Well, the one thing that's top of mind that we talked about today is Deion Sanders had announced that he found out that he had bladder cancer.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and so luckily they were able to catch it. I think this happened months ago.
Yeah, but they removed his whole bladder.
Yes, they did. And so he's still trying to figure himself out. But in all of that,
He's a mess physically.
I know he's been through a lot. And so shout out to him, because he's done a lot just for, I think, the culture and his career, and even his sons being now in the NFL, I think is a big chunk, and him just being who he is. But that wasn't the headline. The headline that people took from it, once everybody found out that he was A-OK and he's in, not A-OK, but he's getting better. He posted a clip of him being with someone who is famous. She's a famous actress, but she also dated Chris Brown at one point. And so people are like, well, and they have a 20-year age gap. So people are like, what in the world are they doing together? Because she was by his side supporting him through his surgeries and stuff. Super sweet. She seems like a very sweet girl, but people were just wondering, how did they link up? Because she's 37 and he's 57. So that's one of the things we talked about today on our morning show.
But I don't think that's inappropriately young.
That doesn't seem like
57 and 37 doesn't seem that
37
bad.
seems very grown to me.
People that take
For sure.
time
And
to
that-
comment
Yeah.
oftentimes have just no
Miserable
reason.
existences.
Yeah.
Well,
Which is a shame. But a lot of people, when I got
The hell with
married, they had a big deal because we were getting married
Really?
after my wife's father had died, like 3 months before.
Really?
I mean, people just
it's terrible. Being online is terrible. I remember I was listening
It's different.
to,
It's
Jake
gets
Paul
worse.
is, right?
yeah.
I saw him, and he is arguably one of the biggest social media
Yeah,
personalities
'cause I think he's
ever.
super controversial from his name.
He
I
is.
think that he's a
But-
fighter, isn't he?
Well,
He was a
now
content
he is,
creator,
yeah.
and he became a fighter,
What's
right?
his brother?
Logan.
Logan.
Oh,
but,
is that- okay.
but he was talking about, he's the one who fought Mike Tyson, Jake Paul.
Okay, that's okay. Gotcha.
But he's a huge, social media person and has been since he was like 13, 14 years old.
Yeah.
And he talked about, and even back then he was very famous and how difficult it was being 14 and getting millions of
comments.
views, top of your game.
Yeah.
But you have all these people saying, die, you scumbag, you're disgusting. I mean, the most vile things and I think there are a lot of people who really sit there and think about what is the worst possible thing I can say to this person
And let me tweet it,
That's
yeah.
right. And it's really hard, no matter how successful you are. You can never escape this. And part of what makes you successful because of the algorithm is having the back and forth.
Yeah, the people
And
talking
so
about you.
if you have people saying horrible things about you, then people defend you, and then the algorithm promotes it. So you almost can't become big without these trolls saying, "Oh, it's a terrible."
You just have to
you
have
have
the
to have
support
such a
system, too.
healthy ego.
Absolutely.
You have to be so intact.
But it's
Yeah.
just
It's a lot to put up with.
Especially as a kid.
Yeah, and I grew up
It's-
in that era because I was 12 on Twitter.
Yeah,
when
your
they first
generation
started.
is
So-
really very hard on each other.
Yeah, but you have to
really
learn
hard
at
on
that
each
point.
other.
Yeah, and I would say I have to learn because I'm right in between millennial and Gen Z because I was born in '96, so I'm like right there. But I got a little
96.
bit
What was
of
I doing? Oh, yeah, practicing law. That's true. I was in law school. Well, I was practicing.
Yeah, it was too.
You guys were
Practicing to practice.
Yes, practicing to practice. I was
Well,
1
here I
year
was
away
being
from
born.
graduating.
Check that out.
What were you
Yeah,
doing?
that's that stuff that makes me feel old.
You were practicing law.
Thank
it was,
you.
it was at Brown and Crouppen.
That's right.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I
But
really,
you
really
are
appreciate you coming in.
Absolutely.
This was.
Are we already done?
I'm going to continue to go. I don't know how much time you
I
have.
got some more
I don't
time.
know. I don't
It's
know
up to
when
you
we started.
guys.
Let's keep going.
I don't know
You
where.
believe in UFOs?
That's a loaded question. I feel like
How much?
I don't know. I don't know.
I
never,
agree that it's a loaded
I
question.
honestly
I'm
never-
curious why you think it's
Why,
loaded.
why do you
Go a
think it's
few
loaded?
minutes.
because I feel like it's so many different people have their own versions of what UFOs are. So I feel like that's number one. Number two is I have so much stuff going on in life. I've never even really sat and thought about it. That's like when people have the conversation, is the earth flat? Like I don't really entertain the conversation.
No, and it's not a conversation.
I don't think so either. But I just like, oh, it's just one of those conversations I see and keep scrolling.
So then that would be a no.
Yeah,
you
I
don't
don't
necessarily believe
I don't
it,
even
but
think
you
I have
haven't
an
given it
opinion.
enough thought.
Yeah, I've never given it
I'll
enough thought.
tell you why I think it's a loaded question. Because I think there are, when you say, do you believe in UFOs? I think that creates actually two questions. Do you
What do you
believe?
mean? What? I don't even
That's what I
understand that
said,
question.
it feels
If an
like a long question.
unidentified flying object.
But because
Do you believe that there's ever a
Do you
flying
believe in
object
drones?
that you cannot
They're,
identify?
no, they're asking, are,
Life on from another planet.
you're saying
Well, let's
an
say that.
alien specraft.
colloquially, a UFO is an alien spacecraft. So now we're going to have to put this aside
I don't
and
believe it is.
talk about Ed. We're going to get to this.
Okay.
Ed is one of these guys who, I don't know if I'd call it an alter ego, but there is a side of him that started many years ago when he was on prednisone. and he was, let's say, not the most pleasant guy to be around because of the medication.
Only to him.
Okay.
No,
Nobody
no,
else
so it was
complained.
just you.
Don't make me get somebody on speakerphone. I got the
lawyer
receipts.
you all are pulling is coming out.
Wait,
Since then,
this is a direction I never thought.
Oh yeah, no, it's true. Prednisone Ed has become known as Spicy Ed in more recent years.
Okay.
Yeah, it's spicy.
It's when I'm clearly a little aggravated and I
that's right.
can't hide it in my tone.
So how do you
But
react?
beforehand-
Like maybe you're irritated.
If he
Do you
keeps talking, you'll see.
He'll snap it. But before the show, you said you had
know it's
control.
true,
You
too.
can go either way.
Well, no,
I believe you're
I
in
don't offer. Let me
control.
say this: I don't offer that
Learn
all the
something.
time, but I could tell that I could offer it today.
Cheers.
Because I had the ability to turn my energy one way or the other
Got
if
it.
I wanted to. I can't say that I could do that any day.
You're like
There are
teetering on the
Yeah,
edge.
there are some days where I'm going to be Spicy Ed and I
Yeah.
can't
And there's
break
nothing
out
wrong
of
with
it.
that. I get that because
No.
I have sometimes I'm just not. I'm just here to work, get it done.
And you know what it is? It's
Yeah.
because I am an authentic person. And if I'm authentically feeling spicy, I don't make a ton of effort to hide that.
Whoa. I don't think that's like.
Did the
don't
opinion sign flash on right
I don't
there?
think that because there are people who hide behind that. That's
Of what?
just how they are.
No, that's
I get what you're
true.
saying.
That's
and I
true.
don't think it's being authentic to not kind of not be
Own it.
not to be unkind. Like I don't think being unkind is being authentic.
Well, I don't.
if that's how you feel,
But when did unkind come into it?
I mean,
No,
I'm
spicy
using
Ed
that as
is
an
not-
example.
Is it spicy or is it just straightforward?
Oh well,
no,
it's
it's
straightforward to an extreme.
snapping. It's that.
Yeah,
Anyway,
okay.
let's go back to UFOs. So I think the reason why there is the loaded question.
I have a question for you guys, by the way, too. Let's make sure,
If you
make
can
sure I
accept UFOs as alien spacecraft, I think the question is, do I believe that there are aliens, other life forms
Right.
out there somewhere in the universe?
Which is why you think it's a loaded question because it'll take you
Absolutely.
there. I get
There
that.
are absolutely some form of life somewhere else. If space is as vast as we are told it is.
Well, if it is, make sure they listen
Right.
in to Hot 103
Now
Jams.
the
you go.
question is, so that question is yes. If
Whatever
you
it takes
ask
to get
me,
the listeners.
Absolutely.
do I think that alien spacecraft have made their way to Earth, and
say
there
no.
are aliens who have actually walked on Earth?
What are your thoughts on that?
That's much tougher.
That's a little bit
that's a bridge too far.
That's another loaded question.
Because how did they get here? How did they keep it secret?
I'm going to
Nobody can
talk
keep
about
anything
spicy
secret.
And you
Ed.
guys will never get back to St. Louis.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
I got a lot of gripes against spicy Ed.
Oh, is
you
this
got some
like
grievances
get the
too?
Festivus poll?
I have a question for you guys.
Yeah. What's up?
No, you go ahead.
Being lawyers,
Yeah.
do you guys entertain or watch any lawyer-focused shows?
I watch all of them. Yeah.
I love Suits.
Suits was fun. That one
Suits
went
was
down.
fun.
That was like a nice cheeseburger. You know, it was very comforting. It wasn't too cerebral, but
What's your favorite
get into
lawyer
it.
show?
Boston Legal.
Yeah,
I think
I
James
haven't- I don't think I've
Spader and
seen it.
William
Totally.
Yeah,
Shatner
okay.
were so good on that show.
Okay.
Man,
I've never
and it was a
watched any.
silly show,
Really?
Yeah.
but it was self-aware of their.
I enjoy it.
Between
I mean,
him and Shatner,
They were
I
just
mean,
phenomenal.
I just feel like I don't know why. I feel like I live it in my work life.
you don't
I
wanna
don't.
see, yeah.
You know what? Here's another thing. I lived in New York City on September 11th, and I've never watched a documentary. I've never gone to the museum.
Yeah.
I feel like I know it so well. I don't need to go
relive it.
like I saw it firsthand.
Yeah.
And I think the lawyer thing is the same thing. I feel like I see enough of lawyers. I get enough lawyers from 9 to 5. I don't need them in my private life.
Is there a misconception about lawyers that you feel like people have?
Yes.
What, like, if there's one
know.
thing that you,
I think the biggest misconception people have is about lawyers that are just like us, personal injury lawyers. I think people assume, but, and listen, we haven't been our own best advocate either, because a lot of times, especially the early days of lawyer advertising, you only had 30 seconds to convey a message.
Yeah,
so
quickly,
it was
yeah.
hard to convey it without referencing the significance of the money,
Right,
because
right,
that's so much a
right.
part of it. And yet, most people that go into personal injury law and most people that do it are doing it for all the right reasons. To me, they are the best, generally the best of the lawyers. These are the ones who were like standing up for the kids getting bullied on the playground. Like, these are the people that saw those
Being
kind of
those people,
injustices and said, you know what? We're going to take on the system. We're going to take, and we, you know, firms like ours, we work on a contingent basis. That would be like a doctor saying you only had to pay them if they healed you.
right?
We literally say we only get paid if we win, if we're
Yeah.
successful. Otherwise, we chalk it up, we absorb the loss. And so, like, I'm very proud of that fact. And I think it's an amazing phenomenon that injury lawyers will do that when no other profession is willing to kind of put their money where their mouth is.
In other professions.
And so to me, that to me is the single biggest misconception, is people just assuming that it's fueled by greed instead of a genuine desire to help people.
I have a more personal. When you deal with the people in your life and you're a lawyer, and you win an argument, people say to you, you only won it because you're a lawyer.
I hate that.
And you're a good argument, especially spouses.
Yeah.
You can never win an argument.
Yeah.
It means forever you
The
are.
second you make a good argument, you know what they do? They say, stop lawyering me.
Yeah.
Stop lawyering me. And you want to say,
accidentally lawyer somebody.
No,
or
but
your kids.
but you're not. All you're doing is winning an argument because you're in the right. You're not lawyering anybody.
You give up in many interpersonal situations. You give up the option of just winning an argument.
Yeah.
It's always you have some special power that wins.
I've always wondered that. I've always enjoyed watching lawyer shows because that's not something I have the patience to do. Love that.
You know what's better than a lawyer
So
show
shout out
is
to you
watching
all.
a great lawyer in real life who actually has to do it legitimately within the rules. Because everything they write on television and movies, like the one reason why a lot of lawyers don't watch that stuff is it's so
'Cause it's
inaccurate.
ridiculous, yeah.
And you can't get around the thought of, well, that would never happen. You can never do that.
People do closing arguments on those TV shows, and you're like, what?
They're just and they're asking questions you never be allowed to ask.
You can't
doing
handle
stuff.
the
Yeah, I mean,
truth.
just nonsense.
Although, what's the medical show out now? There's a medical show out now, a doctor show out now.
Oh, is that what it is?
No, it's a shorter word. Anyway,
I used to
it's a
watch
similar
Grey's.
thing. Doctors watching medical shows. Every doctor I know says this is the most true to life.
Accurate.
Oh, really?
It's like an ER,
What's
kind of
interesting
show.
about that
President
is
or something?
when
Or
people
what is it
ask
called?
lawyers what the most accurate lawyer thing was, a lot of people will say my cousin Vinny. And the truth of it is, my cousin Vinny, of all the movies, is like the only one that really went out of its way to at least even try to be accurate. And that was kind of part of the plot, was you had the judge who was kind of holding him to a very strict procedure.
You know what?
Use.
But that's important. It actually showed sometimes how the bias of a judge can enter a trial and make it very difficult for people to get a fair trial.
Very much so.
There are a lot of judges, and many of them are fine people, but there are judges that are not equal.
Yeah, that's anything. If you look at
I'm
a plumber,
No.
or a checkout person at a grocery store, you can bring integrity to any job that you hold, and a lot of people choose not to.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
when I first started, a lot of the judges had been prosecutors. I did criminal,
Oh, okay.
and it was an uphill battle.
They're powerful.
Yeah.
Oh boy!
And people have a hard time with power.
That is the thing in
There are
all
certain
industries.
people, who you give them this much power,
They run with it.
and they
Oh boy, are
Yeah.
there?
and it's hard because I don't think they realize that about themselves before they get the power.
What about in radio? There must be some real.
Oh God.
I mean, I've heard of people having a lot of horror stories. I have not experienced any horror stories.
Give up.
I shouldn't say. Hopefully, not too crazy, but I've heard some stories where I'm like, oh my gosh, especially for women, experiencing things, because it's still entertainment. It's still a male dominated field. So just kind of hearing some of the experiences, I know that I am in a better day and age than they were. But then at the same time, it still comes with its battles that I could face at one point in time. But, with the support system I have, with how I handle things, I think that I am well prepared to handle those moments. But I see people outside of radio that get a little bit of power and think that they're like, oh, I'm this and I'm that.
Yeah.
So I just see people do it, not necessarily to hurt me, but I see them doing it and I can see their fall. If that makes sense, of the things that they say on social media, or the things that they say, that's like, if you really had discipline and your ego was in check, you wouldn't have said that. And those are the type of things where I'm in rooms with people that might have those power plays to put people in spots. And they're talking to me and they're like, this person here I wanted to get, but they don't know how to handle themselves. And so I'm here just seeing it. I'm like I wish they would have had, had their ego in check. And so that's kind of the biggest thing that at least my boss has always said is, he's like, make sure you have your ego in check, just because that's how he is. He's just the person that's said that since day one. And
It's nice that he says that to you.
Yeah, and
because
so,
you see
absolutely.
people like with lawyers. I could name lawyers who have accomplished nothing and likely never will.
Yeah.
With tremendous egos.
Yeah.
And then you can find a guy like John Simon, for instance, who is arguably one of the best trial lawyers in the United States, and arguably maybe one of the best ever.
Yeah.
And is one of the most humble, down to earth, kind, ego in check men you will ever meet. And but I think people think that in order to get to that point, you have to be a jerk to people. You have to be this, puffing out your chest and, oh, I'm better than you, I don't have time for you. And it's crazy.
Don't you think there are some people just enjoy being
like
when I
that.
say
think so.
assholes or a-holes,
Yeah.
a-holes in the world. It's what people
it's
get off on it.
well, I think that's how they are. And they sort of mask it until they get to a position of authority where they think they have the permission to do it without getting fired or getting in trouble.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like you hear in the old school law firms, this doesn't happen. Certainly not at our firm. And I don't think as much in law firms. But I know plenty of lawyers who have told stories about early in their career working for people who would literally scream at them and throw things at them.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And it's crazy.
Yeah.
And they continue to work.
That's what I've heard plenty.
It's crazy.
I've heard plenty of stories where people were like, to me, that's crazy because I've never had a job where it's like that. So I've heard that in plenty of industries and across the board, and it's just like, what was going on? What happened? And so
I like to think things have changed a lot for the
Maybe. I mean,
because there was a lot of that. I won't mention the name, but my former law firm, and I've been obviously Brown and Crouppen is my career, and I'm in my 25th year. But
Congrats.
the firm I was at right before that was very much that environment where the veteran lawyers, the partners, they treated you like crap. They would throw stuff at you, but you don't hear about that.
I wish somebody would throw something at me.
People haven't gotten better.
Absurd.
People haven't, but I think the pressures of decorum.
I think people have been forced to
people that are
legally.
Right.
of that ilk, they find a way to do.
Yeah, they're going to find a way to do it in a different atmosphere where it doesn't seem so, oh my goodness.
Not to get caught.
I think there have been some generational changes.
Yeah.
I think that's a generation, probably your generation of lawyers. And as they retire, I think some of those practices probably mostly, like you say, through the law, through the courthouse.
I was going to say, getting sued a couple times.
Yeah, it's probably.
I mean, I've never even, because we've worked together a very, very long time. And obviously, we're running the firm. We're not yellers. I don't know that anybody could say in all of the years that we've been doing it, do you think anybody could point to anything that we've either said or done that would be considered remotely aggressive? I don't remember ever yelling.
Well, no, of course not. Certainly, we've had difficult conversations, which you have to have.
That's part of
important.
Yeah.
That's communication, and then they've all been done respectfully.
Absolutely.
Every time I've been a part of them. No, I can't imagine ever yelling at somebody. It doesn't. If you look in those situations, what you're trying to accomplish, yelling is never getting you to your goal.
It's a lot like parents. It's a lot like parents.
Yeah.
Yelling is usually a symbol of
you've lost
a
control.
person's frustration.
Yeah.
It's never really the right.
And come back type thing.
Can I ask her one final question for me?
Yeah, and then we'll wrap it up.
Who do you think killed Kennedy?
So you're getting farther and farther away from things I
And
remember.
she's 28 years old.
See, wait, you remember.
The VJ on MTV?
No.
You're too young for that, too.
Really? That's a
1996.
dated question.
Didn't they just release the information of who technically...
Yeah,
but
nothing
nothing.
changed.
I don't think it really, at this point, I don't think anything, whether we know or not, is going to change anything that's already happening.
Do we even care anymore?
Yeah,
I think people do care.
No, old people have nothing else on their minds.
yeah,
Go live a
people
life,
care.
go
Yeah.
accomplish something.
That's what I said. I don't think it's... I don't know.
Who do you think killed Kennedy?
Yeah, that's the good question.
I don't know.
Do you think the
He
story...
doesn't even have an answer to his own
Do
question.
you think the story is the official version? Do you believe that? Just a lucky shot.
I think if I had to guess right or die, yes. But if somebody said to me it was way more complicated, I wouldn't be totally shocked.
I think it was just Lee Harvey Oswald acting alone.
Lucky
I don't
shot.
I
believe
couldn't
there
remember
was-
the name.
You weren't even that lucky.
I was watching television when Lee Harvey Oswald got shot.
Gotcha.
Oh,
Live.
wow. Really?
Yeah.
Maybe the first murder ever.
But here,
really?
listen. You see how messed up we are as a society.
Was a nickel.
Nobody
And you
can keep
could
a
go there.
secret. Nobody can keep a secret.
Just old
Fun
time.
of me.
Oh, okay. I
'Cause he's
didn't know
old
if we
man.
were going to.
Old people used to talk about when Coca-Cola
What do
was
you
a nipple.
think?
I thought this was a fireside chat. Though I thought you were mimicking an old fireside chat.
No.
What do you think of a
Roosevelt.
son who mocks and makes fun of his brother?
This is my first time of hearing this.
Never seen this before.
Never seen this before.
She's gonna storm out of here. This is outrageous.
I don't know what we're talking about.
Anyway,
I would have to
Oswald
say a
acted
reference.
alone. Nobody in society can keep a secret. There are no
That's
secrets.
That is very
Well,
true.
that's the thing.
You have siblings?
I do not.
can
I'm the
tell
only
the
child.
truth,
Only
and
child,
nobody
okay.
believes
Yeah, on
Well, that's the
mom's side,
problem. Is I
have,
think people
two
tell the
brothers on
truth,
my
but it
dad's
gets
side.
blended in with 30 other versions,
So the
and then you
truth
can't
and-
tell the
Here they
difference.
go.
Truth and
Yeah.
lies.
You
They're
can't tell.
going.
Watch this. What do you think about the Yankees and how
Like
their
who?
payroll
No, that's just-
impacts their
that's-
success?
He's going back to such an old
This used
trope.
to be you could not
But that's
bring up
15 years
Yeah,
ago.
yeah.
Okay.
And the two of them would.
Yeah.
It was like it was like lighting.
I mean, I was proven right just by the
Was it
fact at the
spicy?
time.
Was it spicy Ed or?
Yeah, yeah.
No, because baseball hasn't had a salary cap, and the Yankees haven't won a title in 16 years. So obviously, I won that. But it was sometimes the passage of time is all that's required to prove somebody right or
That's
wrong.
right.
It's not the words,
That-
the passage
that
of
could be
time.
true.
Yes.
You just got to
But-
see how it plays out.
So you're a Yankees fan?
Yeah, if he had been right, the
Cardinals
Yankees
fan?
would have had a
Yeah,
title in the
yeah.
last 16
Okay, just making
years.
sure. Just making
Yeah.
sure I'm
What
in.
about you? I mean, you've got to
Cardinals
like both, right?
No.
Really?
I mean, I respect the Royals. I've done things with the Royals.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting on the
We
Cardinals.
were there last night.
Still, oh yeah. I
Great
did
But your
job.
hear about
heart
that.
is still a St.
my
Louis
heart
Cardinal
is,
fan.
yeah, I'm always a
Yeah.
Cardinals fan, but I've worked with the Royals. They've gotten me the host and stuff like that. So the Cardinals, I'm still waiting on that phone call from them. But yeah,
We're big sponsors.
yeah, I really had no idea. But
Yeah.
yeah, I need to go back to a game. I have not been to a game since I was probably a minor, so I definitely need to go back and enjoy it.
It's fun.
because
We
I
went
haven't
to the
been.
Royals game last night.
Yeah, it was hot, right?
Oh,
Who did they play?
The Braves.
Braves?
was.
Did they win?
No, the Braves
Yikes.
won 10-7.
I root for the Royals for sure. But
Yeah.
when the Kansas City when not the Kansas City when the Royals and the Cardinals go
Cardinals
at
play.
it, me and my co-host we place a bet. So last time he lost the bet because the Cardinals won that series. And then they came back and he owes me breakfast. I'm still waiting on that.
Yeah, what the heck?
Yeah,
wait, is
that
that
was a
the
while
money
ago.
he owes you and you were mad because he went out
that's
to the
what-
game
so
and
he
was
lost
buying
two
all that
bets.
food?
Yes, he lost two bets. He lost the bet a year ago, and I got $100. So they gave me a $100 gift card to MLB. So
Okay.
I got some Royals
Wait,
gear.
so did he? Because I saw a clip
Yeah.
where you were saying, "Don't you like it when somebody owes you money?" Talks
he
about
got some
how they
Dippin'
go out and
Dots. He was
buy-
at the game
Yeah,
buying
yeah,
Dippin'
yeah,
Dots,
yeah.
which is extremely expensive. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you owe me breakfast,
So
man.
did he pay you for that bet
No,
finally?
he owes me.
No, man. Come on.
He said he saw it. He remembered it the other day. He said, "I don't like having open bets. I know I owe you breakfast." So I
Now,
expect.
do we want to make a bet as to whether or not he'll watch this podcast
Yes,
to get all the
now
way to
he
this
will.
point?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the bet. Do you think he'll watch it and reference that? In fact, let's have a word. The word is noodles.
So if he
So
hears noodles,
if
he knows
if
what
he
it is.
cannot give you the safe word noodles, then you know he's lying and he did not listen to you on the show.
Oh, he better just give you $100. Forget about noodles.
Yeah,
Well, he should
forget
give you
about
both.
breakfast.
He should
Yeah.
give you both.
Like us to have a
Send him, you know,
right.
yeah.
We could send in the Godfather.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I got a guy.
we're very good at.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've said it all.
Yeah.
Let's bring this one in for a landing. You want
All
to
right.
close us out?
Goodbye.
Elliot was like, goodbye, folks. Thank you so much
Yeah,
for coming
really,
on.
it was a pleasure
It was
talking
really
to you.
nice meeting
Thank
you.
you.
And
No,
now we'll
I
get to
appreciate
follow
you
your
guys.
career and all the fun things that happen. with
Absolutely.
it.
Yeah. No, and if you guys ever, of course, need any places in Kansas City or, any contacts.
Well, and you come out this.
I'll rent out a nice little B&B for you guys. But no, if you guys
That's
ever
it.
need anything, of course.
And he'll take you up on it too. Be careful what you
I
offer the
I won't need
Crouppens.
much. Just give me the Roku remote.
And if we
Okay.
can do anything for you here in St. Louis, we're always here.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Well, goodbye, everybody.
Yeah. Take care.